So someone comes in and they say, I think I've been cursed. So what do you say to them?
Okay, so when someone comes in and says, I think I've been cursed, or if you feel like you have a curse, pause. Okay, so whenever you wake up and think that you've been cursed, there are some things that you need to ask yourself. One, is this a medical condition? If you feel like you're being cursed with bad health, which is a real thing, okay, so I don't want people to think that's not real. It's not very common for something like that to happen. You have to have somebody very, very, very advanced who knows how to send curses like that. But if you feel like you're being cursed with poor health, go to your doctor, because the thing is, you need to try and figure all of this out on the mundane plane of existence before you start looking at spiritual and energetic stuff. Because a lot of times you can go to the doctor and they'll say, oh yeah, well, you got a cold. Here's some medicine. It'll take care of it just fine. However, there are some times where you go to the doctor and they're like, we really can't find anything physically wrong with you, and that is the perfect time to start thinking spiritual and energetic attack. So the first thing you have to do is to decide if you are being cursed, or if this is just a really poorly timed health issue, poorly timed bad luck coincidence. They do happen. Or if this is just a result, a consequence to your own bad choices. I know sometimes we make bad choices and we suffer the consequences, and we say, why is this happening to me? Try to find the answer on the mundane physical plane first before you jump straight to, I've got a curse. Slow your roll, daytime Emmy, okay? So that is how I start with that. We always want to approach it on the physical plane first before we jump to the someone's cursing me conclusion, okay? Because here's the thing, whether someone is cursing you or not, if you believe you have a curse, here's the key to curses. The only thing a curse truly needs to work is for you to believe that it's working. And that is a fact. That is a metaphysical and spiritual fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. The person who sends the curse is counting on you believing that. Because if you don't, they got nothing on you guys.
So what if I don't know the person that cursed me, and I just know I've been cursed? I don't necessarily believe it, but
okay, so you don't have to know the person who has cursed you, and you don't really have to know what means they're using to curse you. The first key to breaking curses, guys, is to being aware that you have a curse. And when I say aware, I don't mean you wake up one morning and think, I may have a curse. You've tried all of this physical stuff. You've gone to the doctor. You've had your blood checked. You've had your car checked. Your brakes are working just fine. Everything's working just fine. But you still can't explain it. Then we start thinking, okay, maybe we have a curse. And you don't have to know what kind of curse it is. It's a very simple technique that you can use to break curses.
Okay, so my neighbor I know is cursing me because they told me they're cursing me, and I'm seeing the effects of it. I've done the whole doctor thing like you suggested. Take me step by step. What am I supposed to do? What's the first step, the second step, the third step?
Let's say that your neighbor is cursing you. The first thing, you verify that you have a curse. The first thing that you're going to want to do is, before you do any kind of ritual work, and getting rid of a curse is a form of ritual, a form of magic. We'll define magic as the manipulation of energy to reach a certain desired outcome. That is magic. So you'll want to make sure that your auric field is very clear, your chakras are open, there's no kind of energetic stank. What you're going to do, you can take either a shower or a bath. I prefer a shower because I don't like sitting in my own gook. But you use things like the salt scrub. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll take some of these herbs here. We have the organza bags here that we give your crystals in. Those make wonderful little bags to tie to the roof of your shower head. And when that hot water hits it, the aroma of that herb and the energy of that herb will fill that shower and really give you a really good cleansing. So I utilize that with the salt scrub together, and usually about a 20-minute cleansing shower kind of gets me all set and done, okay? So after that, there are two things that you can do. Both of these are absolutely acceptable. You can cut these cords that your neighbor who is cursing you has, because there has to be some form of energetic connection. Lainey here has an energetic connection to me. You know, we sort of kind of do, because we work together. We work in the same place. So I don't want to cut that connection we have. But let's say that Lainey has a negative connection to me. And she's sending me negative energy, constantly feeding that to me. Look at her face. Evil, wicked thing. So what we're going to do, your visualization skills, guys, have to be up to par, okay? Visualization is a huge part of magic. It's a huge part of meditation. It's a huge part of creating our reality, you know, even down on the physical plane. Let's say Susan wrote this wonderful book. She did. You need to come buy it. But that started out, she visualized that first. It started out in her mind, and then it ended up real. So what we do, we visualize this kind of energetic cord right about here in your solar plexus. I visualize, and this would work even if she was across town. Okay, so just because we're standing here does not mean that if she were further away, it wouldn't work. So I just visualize this right at our solar plexus connecting us. I visualize a very dark, murky green color whenever I'm doing that. But what I do, I just take my shard. I visualize as I cut through this cord, and you can even speak into existence what you were doing. With this kyanite crystal and the energy of this kyanite, I cut the energetic cord that Lainey has connected to me, and I dissolve any kind of energetic curse that she has on me. That is one way to do it. And guys, you may have to do that a few times. It's almost like with sewer pipes. Have you ever had tree roots get into your sewer pipes? You have to, and I know that personally, because, well, that's another story. But you have to keep going back and cleaning it up a little bit. And another thing that you can do, guys, we talk about ethics and stuff, but you can do a return to sender spell. You're not sending anything extra. You're not sending anything nasty to the person who's cursed you. You're just sending back what's theirs. And it can be as simple, I use bay leaves. And what I will do, I will write on the bay leaves, and we sell those here. You can get a nice little ounce for $1.95. But I will just take a little black marker, and I will write down the elements of my curse that I feel like I am under. And as I'm burning these bay leaves, you will get a little candle or a little dish that you can burn them and put them in. And as I'm burning them, I visualize all of this energy burning from me and being sent back to, in this case, Lainey. And after the ashes, once it's finished and you have ashes, you'll go bury it somewhere close to water. It takes any kind of remaining energy, the energy of that water. I live very close to the Ohio River, so I'll go out and bury it close to the water, and that river will take any other kind of remaining energy, take it from the source and give it back to the greater good, neutralize that energy. Okay, so after you've cut these cords, after you've done a return to sender spell, and all that's good, you're all good and clear, but you're not quite finished yet, because part of the reason why this person could get to you in the first place was probably because you didn't have your barriers up. You weren't using protection magic. You weren't utilizing ways to energetically and spiritually protect yourself, and we have everything you need here for that too. A lot of times, guys, I will travel with when I'm in the car, I will travel with little obsidian crystals we have. That's wonderful for protection. I keep obsidian and onyx raw chunks all over my house, on my windowsills, to keep any kind of unwanted negative energy out. Just little things like that you can do. We also have liquid smudge, which is a wonderful, it's like Windex, but for it's like Windex, but for nasty negative energy. And burning sage, doing a little cleansing ritual about once a week in your space, because whether you have someone who's attacking you with a curse, or whether you just have a lot of built up negative energy, a lot of times that can manifest too as some nasty feelings. So just keeping your space and yourself energetically and spiritually clean. It's just, we have physical hygiene. You don't want somebody who has BO sitting next to you. Well, I also don't want somebody who's got negative, energetic hygiene sitting next to me, because that stinks just as bad. So just on a different plane of existence. So you just want to make sure that you follow all of this up with keeping your barriers raised and keeping your space cleansed, because the negative energy attracts negative dust bunnies, and that's where a lot of this stuff comes in. So you just want to make sure that you reinforce all of this protection that's available to everybody. There's really no excuse not to do.
So my neighbor's really nasty. They've been really bad. They poisoned my dog. You know, they dump trash on my yard. I'd like to give them a curse.
Okay, well, you know what? I'd like to do a lot of things. Sometimes I just like to slap the shit right out of someone. But you know what? That doesn't get us anywhere because we're adults, okay? So don't throw an energetic and spiritual tantrum. You have to remember, can you give someone a curse? Absolutely. Should you? No. Because whatever you send out is going to come back to you times 3. The thing is, guys, when people throw curses, they're usually miserable. And there's a reason they're miserable. They wallow in their misery, and misery loves company. Whatever they throw out, they get back. So they're getting a lot of that back anyway, a lot of the karma off of that. So no, don't throw curses. Don't throw curses because you're just inviting that to come back to you. That energy you're giving is going to come back. If they're poisoning your dog, call the police. If they're throwing stuff on your yard, go to your landlord. There's a lot of different things, again, on the mundane level that you can do. You should never resort to throwing curses. Again, if that negative energy keeps coming your way, set up your barriers. Set up your shields. Call on your angels. Call on your guides. There's a lot of positive things you can do. You don't have to resort to dabbling in negative energy. We don't want to do that.
So I've heard from other people that they've hired, John the Voodoo Doctor to come in and break the curse for me. So should I hire somebody to break the curse?
Okay, so here's the thing about hiring someone to break the curse. Most basic curses you can break yourself. Okay, you may need some guidance, and that's cool. Don't do the internet because anybody can post anything on the internet. But call us, look up some books. Most of the time you'll be able to do it yourself. However, if you are dealing with something very strong, because sometimes every once in a while you will run across someone who really knows how to throw a curse, and it's a negative Nelly. So yeah, you absolutely should get some help with that, because first of all, you don't want to dabble, because a lot of times when we think we're helping, we're actually just making things worse. A lot of times we'll piss something off instead of getting rid of it. And that's when you want to call in a really good psychic medium, someone who can see energy, feel energy, see what's going on a spiritual plane that you just can't do. So it's absolutely a good thing to get help in certain cases. Usually a basic curse, it's simple as cutting cords and doing a return to sender spell.
So Christina, I don't feel comfortable doing a ritual, or I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. So I do want to hire somebody, so what should I look for?
Well, first off, if you are not comfortable, like Jonathan stated before, don't dabble. And that's one of the worst things that you can do to yourself. So if you are looking for somebody to hire, do your research for one. There are a lot of people out there that claim to be something that they're not, or claim to be able to do things that they cannot do. Someone who is trusted, certified even, someone who you have met with, if they are not willing to meet with you or at least have a conversation with you about what your concerns are, they're probably not the right person for you. You need to look for somebody who does not throw a price down at first, because for those that are psychic mediums or those that do help others lift curses or help guide them through things, yes, it will cost you money. That's why you're hiring them. But there's different levels of things. So if they're going, to come in and cleanse your house is going to be $500, before they know what they're going into, or before they, some of us can tap in remotely. So they need to be prepared in order to do whatever it is they need to do for you. If they're not willing to do those things, run. Just run. If they're more concerned about what they are going to do for you without listening to what your concerns are, run. There are a lot of people, like I said, that are out there to make $1 and will do more harm to you than good.